and welcome back to Italian Cooking for Shut-ins. Today we're going to do a recipe that actually isn't Italian, but it's my mom's famous chili recipe, winner at neighborhood chili cook-offs all over the world. Okay, maybe not, maybe just in Tennessee, but still, it's a very much enjoyed chili in my family, and hopefully it will be in yours. I hope that everyone is having a wonderful Easter, those of you who celebrate it. I know that it's a very meaningful time of year, and the message of hope and renewal that we get at Easter time is, of course, badly needed now. Just thinking about hand washing for a moment. I'm sure that right now it seems like a real pain in the butt to have to wash your hands all the time. And I would love to propose a reframing of hand washing, especially when we think about those of us who are Christian and have celebrated Holy Week and now Easter. We have the message on Holy Thursday, or the story on Holy Thursday of Jesus washing the apostles' feet and the act of servitude, and it seems like we have a lot of really good role models for how we can help one another and the sacrifices that we should be making to help one another. But I think it's also important to remember the kinds of acts that we need to do for our own self-care. And hand washing could be one of those things. If you just think about the gentle movement and the sudsing of the soap and the cleansing of the hands, these multiple opportunities per day that we're supposed to be washing our hands could be acts of little momentary bits of self-care. And anyway, just a different way to think about hand washing. A message that comes through when we think about the Easter stories and what leads up to it. I get real nostalgic around Easter time too. It was always a time of new clothes and fresh smelling flowers and lamb cakes, and we used to have scalloped potatoes and ham on Easter with Caesar salad. It was good times. Hopefully you're all enjoying your families in whatever way that you will this holiday. All right, so chili. We're starting off with the soup pot that you've seen a few times now. We've got the little bit of olive oil coating the bottom, heated up now over a low medium heat. And I'm going to add to that 1 medium onion and 2 bell peppers, 2 green bell peppers. And I'm going to saute them until they're soft. The reason I do this is just like the other dishes, adding a little bit of flavor with the onion and bell pepper, and it adds a little bit of vegetable matter as well. A little bit of additional fiber to our animal protein that we're going to be eating. Okay. We'll just simmer these in the olive oil. Get them so they're soft but not browned. And to hasten the process, we'll just add the lid. Okay. And while those are cooking, I'll just explain some of the other ingredients that we have. This dish is simple in terms of ingredients. There's really, if you skip the vegetable part, which hopefully you won't, but it's your kitchen, do what you're going to do. You have 5 ingredients. You have 2 kinds of beans. We have the dark red kidney beans. We have Brooks chili hot beans. The kidney beans are drained, and the Brooks chili hot beans are not drained. We do want to have that chili sauce flavor. Then we have 2 cans, 2 of the 28-ounce cans of diced tomatoes, and 1 28-ounce can of tomato sauce. Okay. So you can see that. We're going to add these gradually to the, oh, but of course, I have here 2 pounds of ground turkey. Again, just like with the pasta fagioli, 2 pounds of any ground meat will do just fine. Sometimes we'll mix the turkey with beef or bison. Ground venison would be delicious, ground chicken, ground pork, all of it would be good. Really whatever you like to add, whatever your family enjoys. We like the turkey because it's a little bit lower fat and it has a lesser impact on the environment than the beef does, so we like to do that. We're going to add to the beans, the tomato, the meat, and the veggies, we're going to add a few spices. We're going to add chili powder, of course, chili powder, oregano, because I put it in everything, and ground cumin. Now, ground cumin is the one spice that my mom in her recipe does not use, or at least historically didn't, and I love it, so I added it. A lot of people don't like cumin because they feel that it smells like body odor, but I love it. And to me, it's kind of a, I don't know, a signature flavor of Mexican or Latinx food. Of course, this is your kitchen. Add cumin, don't add cumin. You could spice this up with things like corn or black beans, perfectly fine. Whatever will allow you to express yourself in your chili. But what I'm going to do is I'll be showing you Mom's way of doing it, and then you can try it out, or you can wing it straight out of the gate. All right, we'll come back once these are softened. Okay, so we've got nice soft onion and bell pepper that is not browned, just nice and soft. That was 1 medium onion and 2 bell peppers. And now I'm going to add 2 pounds of ground meat, turkey in our case. And what I'm doing is I'm browning the turkey in with the onion and bell pepper and a little bit of the seasoning that I'll be adding to the chili. So I'm going to sprinkle some chili powder on there, just to give the meat a little bit of its own flavor. And I'm going to add some cumin. I'm sprinkling it on there. And do that. I'm going to add some black pepper. Forgot to mention that earlier with the other seasonings that I add to this. Do a little bit of black pepper. All right. Get it all chopped up and mixed in there. And then I'm going to put the lid back on and periodically shift the meat and vegetables around until the meat is no longer pink, but a nice brown color. And then we will do the next steps. And we'll be right back. All right, so we're doing well. We've got, I turned up the heat a little bit to about 6 on the stove to kind of get this thing going. And now we have the nice browned meat with the onion and bell pepper. Okay. I am, because this is a pretty low-fat meat, I'm not going to drain what's in here before adding other ingredients. If you were to use ground beef, I would recommend draining so that you don't have too much extra fat. Some is good, but you don't want to go crazy with it. Although I have to say, I have been craving fat like crazy since this lockdown. Not so much carbs, but fat. I can't get enough of peanut butter, avocado, oil, olive oil, butter. Oh, so delicious. Okay, so I'm going to add my kidney beans, my drained kidney beans, my 2 cans of 15.5 ounces of drained kidney beans. And I'm going to add my chili beans, my two 15.5-ounce cans of Brooks chili hot beans. Add a little flavor to the sauce. And this is, the Brooks brand is exactly what my mom has used. This is all exactly her recipe that we have eaten for years. Okay, so I'm going to cook the beans and the meat and the veggies together just for a little bit to get the flavors infused before adding the last ingredients. I will note that this recipe freezes very well, and it is great for cooking in large batches. Freezing, if you're taking meals to other people, this is a great one to take because it's just a simple one dish wonder kind of scenario here. Okay, so we're just going to let this simmer together. I'm going to leave the temperature, I think, at 6, just to simmer this for about 5 minutes or so. And then we'll get back together for the final steps. All right, we've got these guys simmering, cooking happily together, merging their flavors. Once again, no social distancing with the flavors here. They are all coming together. And with this chili, this is one of those dishes that the longer you simmer it, the more flavor you're going to get. So if you can start this dish in the afternoon, you will be very pleased with the result come evening time. All right, so I'm going to add the last 3 cans of food. We have the 28 ounces of tomato sauce. And we have the 2 28-ounce cans of diced tomatoes. Now my mom, she always used the cans of stewed tomatoes and then would just cut up the stewed tomatoes. This seems to be easier. And boy, it looks like we're going to get right to the edge of this pot. This is a double recipe. Woo, look at that. Mamma mia. Okay, so we are going to add now some seasonings as follows. We are going to add chili powder. That's going to be about two heaping teaspoons, or tablespoons, which is basically the rest of this jar. Let's just go ahead and add the rest. Okay. We are also going to add cumin, some more. We'll just add what's left in the jar there. This is, of course, seasoned to taste. The chili powder will make it a little bit hotter, so if you're sensitive to heat, you may want to be mindful of the chili powder. I'm going to add a little more cumin. You can see I cook with it a lot. It's great for Indian food too, which I like to cook. Okay, we're going to keep these around, both the spare chili powder and the spare cumin, in case I want to season some more later. We're also going to add some oregano. And we're going to add 2 bay leaves. It's kind of funny. Tom really hates these bay leaves. Actually, ooh, these are small. We're going to add more than 2. Tom always gets stuck with the bay leaf. The bay leaf is not for eating, it's just for seasoning. And they're really unpleasant, actually, to have in your mouth because it's like eating the leaves you just raked out of your yard or something. Kind of gross. But the seasoning is delicious, and poor Tom, when it doesn't even matter, whenever he sticks his spoon in there, he ends up with the bay leaf. So, but they do add a lot of flavor and they're delicious, just not to eat. And we're going to add some more pepper. I wish I could give you measurements, but alas, I don't know if we ever measured it. I don't know if I've used to measure and have forgotten, or if we just never measured it, but there you have it. All right, I'm going to stir this very carefully because I have used too small of a pot. The next size up is way, way, way too big. So we're just going to have to live with it. Okay, now once this is simmered and you're ready to sit down and eat it, some of our favorite accompaniments are cilantro, like a fresh cilantro cut up. It's nice to sprinkle on top, as is shredded cheddar or shredded Mexican cheese. We also like to put sour cream on our chili, kind of make the flavor, I don't know, kind of mellows it out a little bit. Some people like to serve their chili with cornbread or on cornbread. We don't have cornbread here with us now, so we're not going to do it, but I really enjoy making, you know, just the Jiffy cornbread mix and substituting the milk with a banana. It's delicious. So anyway, there's lots of options. Growing up, we used to eat it with macaroni, so we can cook up some elbow macaroni or shells or whatever you have on hand, and that can be kind of tasty too. I think that's a regional thing, but anyway, lots of options. Or you can just eat it like so, or this chili is really, really good on hot dogs. I know that that's not healthy and probably shouldn't eat a lot of those, but this makes for really, really good chili dogs. Okay, so we've got it stirred up carefully. Not gonna lie, I'm kind of impressed that I haven't spilled any of this. But now I need to turn the heat down or it's gonna boil totally over the edge. My famous maneuver is to boil things over. We're going to try to avoid it because it'll be a pain to clean. All right. It's ready to go. So now I'm just going to basically simmer it all afternoon. And after a few hours, this is going to taste really, really good. And we're going to, what I will do is periodically just test it for seasoning as it's cooking. And then, right before serving, take the last test, and if it's not too late then to add more seasoning if that's what you like. And gosh, I guess really that's it. It's a very simple recipe. Not too many ingredients. It's something you can tweak however you like to eat it. As I mentioned, you can add corn or black beans. You could make it with shredded chicken if you wanted. Really, the sky's the limit. This is all just the basic steps that you can play with when you're making this in your own kitchen. So, thank you for joining me, and I hope again that you have a wonderful Easter if that is a holiday you observe, and if not, I just hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you. Okay, one last note. You want to simmer your chili covered. If you simmer it uncovered for hours at a time, you're going to run out of chili. It's just going to dry out, and it's going to not be what you want. So I would recommend simmering it with the lid on to keep the juices in there. If it's more juicy than you like, maybe in the last hour or so, remove the lid at that time. So you just simmer it for on like 2 or 3 on your stovetop so you don't burn the bottom with the lid on. Take it off about an hour or so before you serve it. All right.